Hi guys, welcome to my channel. So most of us probably aren't hanging out around our local Starbucks these days. So I want to show you how I make my iced latte at home for 32 cents. Yeah, it sounds crazy, but I promise, it's only 32 cents. So let's get started. I'll talk just for a minute about what I'm using. I have an espresso machine and a Burr Grinder. I bought these about 10 years ago, actually. I bought them with my very first paycheck, with my very first job, so I'm a little bit proud of that. But I got the espresso machine refurbished, so it was something like half off. I did pay full price for the grinder. The grinder was $100. I honestly don't remember how much I paid for the espresso machine. I want to say between 100 and 150. So let's say 250 max for both of them. The espresso machine has spent some time in storage because when I lived in an apartment, I couldn't fit it very well on the counter. And then when I took it out of storage, it was having this problem where every time I turned it on, it would surge the power outlet, and then it would turn off and I'd have to reset the power outlet. So I put it in timeout for a few weeks, and when I brought it out of timeout, it worked perfectly fine. So I guess it just needed to cool down for a little bit. As far as the grinder, this is a Burr Grinder. I would definitely recommend a Burr Grinder to anyone who's a coffee enthusiast. It's going to be better than a blade grinder because you will get a consistent grind. You can manually adjust how you want it. You can make French press coffee, regular drip, espresso, pretty much anything you wanted. So it's definitely well worth the money. As far as the coffee that I'm using, I'm going to use a batch that I roasted myself in my cast iron skillet. I'll put a link here. If you haven't watched that video already, you can go watch it. The unroasted green beans that I used are this Primo's coffee. It's Nicaraguan Arabican coffee, single origin. I've roasted it about to a medium dark roast. Now it's time to make the iced coffee. Let's go ahead and turn this on. Since it's refurbished, it's missing its little ring here, and there's a screw in the back missing, but it at least usually works fine. That'll take a minute to warm up. This light will turn red when it's warm enough. For my beans, I am going to measure them precisely. So I have my little scale. Just put that on top first and then turn it on. I'll be using 14 grams. Oh, too much. There we go. Okay, my red light's on, but there's one more step that you should do. You should run warm water through the brew head to get the brew head warm. I just do it until my light turns off, and I know by the time I grind my beans and get that ready, it'll be red again. So I've done enough times to know that my timing is right. Make sure you have your grinder set for an espresso grind, which on this is the Barazza Maestro. It is about an 8. Now this espresso machine uses a pressurized portafilter, so I don't have to tamp it. I know I'm gonna make a mess. I usually do this over the sink. I just kind of make it even. Attach it. It's hard to do with this angle. Make sure it's tight enough. Get your little adorable shot glasses. Always run a little more hot water through when you're done to kind of clear it. Don't forget to turn it off. I've already turned off like half the time. And then 10 minutes later, I'll hear this and I have to come put it back and turn it off. Now take your cup with your reusable straw, because you have to save the turtles. Fill it about halfway with ice. Okay, now put our espresso. Look at that, doesn't that look good? The crema. Add it over ice. That's good stuff. Make a mess on your counter. Now the milk. I usually buy organic milk, but I had to spend some extra money on groceries last month. I bought a lot of bulk nuts and stuff like that, so it'll save me money in the long term, but I wanted to spend a little bit less money on groceries this month, so I did get some conventional. The good thing about this is it's local milk from family farmers, so I know the cows are at least spending some of their time out on the pasture getting grass-fed. So I'll go ahead and put this, and usually I eyeball it, but I'll be precise today, so I'm going to add exactly 4 ounces. Let's see if I can get to that. Fluid ounces. Oh, I got 4.19. Oh well. Still spilled milk. I have to cry. Okay. Let's just put it up. It's very good. You can add syrup if you want. I actually have a video of how to make Starbucks Copycat vanilla syrup. I'll put a link to it here. So if you want to add something like that, you can. I haven't been eating or drinking very much added sugars lately, so I've been doing it just with the milk and espresso, and my body's kind of used to it now, so I think that the milk is sweet enough and it tastes very delicious to me. Now we'll do some math to see how I came up with the 32 cents. I have some notes, so I'll probably be looking at that a little bit. But first of all, the coffee was about $6.60 per pound. So now when you roast coffee beans, you remove about 10 to 15% of the mass. So I added 12.5% to the $6.66. So that gives us about $7.50 a pound. Now, there are 453 grams in a pound of coffee. So what I did is I did 750 divided by 453, so that's the price per ounce. And I times that, so that's the price per gram. And I times that by 14, and that's about 23. So 23 cents for the espresso. Now as for the milk, like I said, I usually use organic, but the conventional is about half the price, or sometimes even less than half the price if I can get it on sale. But it was $3 for a gallon of milk, and a gallon has 128 ounces, so I did 300 divided by 128, and then on that times 4, that gives me 9 cents. So 9 cents for my 4 ounces of milk. So 9 plus 23 is 32 cents. There you go. So now if you would buy a plain, probably short iced latte from Starbucks, it's gonna be about $3 to $3.50, something around there. So let's say we save about $3. Say you buy a Starbucks latte 5 times a week. That's $15 a week divided by, or times 52. That's $780 in a year. So that's a lot of money. You could buy a lot of Starbucks stock with that. You could buy about 10 shares of Starbucks with that. And Starbucks stock pays dividend. If you don't already have an espresso machine, you might not want to shell out 16 weeks worth of Starbucks to get one. So there's a couple of cheaper alternatives. If you have a French press, you can make a strong French press coffee, and that would give you a similar effect. You can also use a Moka Pot. I haven't used one, but my sister recently started using one, and she says it's very similar to espresso. I suggested it to her, even though I haven't used it, but I'll link the one that she has and that she likes below if you want to try that. Definitely a lot cheaper than an espresso machine. You could also try just brewing strong coffee and kind of making that into a latte. Can't guarantee how good that would be, but it's worth a shot. Alright guys, if you liked this video and want me to do more about saving money or about coffee, let me know in the comments below. Remember to hit the like button and to subscribe for more videos on Mondays. Thanks.